St. Germany. As I emerge from your modestly sized cloud of Michelin smoke, the AMG Academy instructor who's leading me in AMG GT chirps on the radio. Maybe turn the traction control back on. But it's challenging when you have 503 German horses daring one to drive in the manner anything apart from clean and tidy. After all, I'm in a very 2019 Mercedes-AMG C63S Coupe, which comes from the lineage of fun-driving automobile, tail-up automobiles. Just before I headed on track, the Mercedes-AMG team presented your vehicle to the gathered number of journalists, proclaiming that the chassis dynamics team went to great lengths to provide more refinement to your C63. This made my assignment about the international launch with this car information on trying in the event that refining from the C63 has arrived at a cost of losing some from the fun and sideways antics that happen to be so loved in regards to the existing chassis. It's a hardcore job, but I can do my utmost to try this hypothesis in their entirety. The location that AMG decided to host the launch would be the Bilsterberg Drive Resort in northwestern Germany. Once an abandoned arms dump with the British Army stationed in Germany, the track was carved out on the hilly landscape. Designed by Hermann Tilke with assistance from famed rally driver Walter Röhrl, this became one from the scariest tracks that I have ever driven on. The tarmac ebbs and flows with the overall differential between highest and lowest points of 236 feet, with a lot of crests and dips coming mid-corner. That morning, AMG's product manager Roland Kreutzer nonchalantly stated over breakfast, "You will cherish it, it's just like a mini Nürburgring." Thanks Mr. Kreutzer, but that doesn't assist with the nerves. We are first mailed behind an AMG Driving Academy instructor, who also is undoubtedly a factory AMG GT3 driver in the AMG GTR. Talk about a daunting way to pop your Bilsterberg cherry. The very first thing that strikes you when sat behind the wheel on the new 2019 C63 is its new tire, which comes using a dynamic microfiber trim on C63S variants. The material closely emulates Alcantara and supplies a comfortable and grippy surface that's excellent for hands which might be sweating caused by elevated adrenaline levels. The wheel rim is thick and sits well with you, and also the control electronics are common in ergonomically satisfying locations. The swipe sensor enables easy transitions between display modes about the fully digital dash. And also the Metal Gear selector paddles supply a tactile click upon activation. I utilize first few laps with the day to acclimatize myself together with the track and the auto, in addition to familiarize myself together with the changes made to the vehicle. For starters, the engine has become left completely untouched, with all the engineering team at AMG while using the "if it ain't broke don't fix it" philosophy. And rightly so. The 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 is really good that it's used in AMG's GT cars. Aston Martin has started to utilize architecture into their sports cars. In C63S form, the engine outputs 503 horsepower and 516 lb-ft of torque due to 18.8 pounds per square inch of boost through the two turbines nestled from the hot V on the V8. The nonce variant needs to make do with 469 horsepower and 479 lb-ft of torque as a result of a reduced boost of approximately 17.4 pounds per square inch and also a varied wastegate opening strategy. What was broken while using previous C63, however, was the transmission. The 7-speed torque converter automatic was slow to answer and changed if this wanted to instead of upon your demand. To solve this challenge, AMG changed against each other for its in-house 9-speed multi-clutch automatic. This enables faster shifts and even more control within the shifting strategies, giving more immediate shifts whenever you pull the wheel-mounted shifter paddles. Although not quite as abrupt as being a dual-clutch transmission, the AMG 9-speed comes with a middle ground between slow torque converter autos and heavier, more pricey DCTs. An EDF with torque vectoring now provides standard on all C63 variants. It locks the back wheels together in cornering, minimizing inside wheel slip and providing optimal traction on corner exit. It also completes a wonderful recipe for sideways antics, but we'll come to that later. One from the most impressive changes towards the 2019 C63 comes from your daddy on the AMG make, that would be the GTR. The 9-step variable traction control system first seen within the GTR has become available about the C63. The control knob has migrated from an ad hoc-looking central dash position for the GTR into a very smart-looking digital dial about the bottom right side in the all-new AMG controls. Termed the AMG drive unit, the dial can be used for changing drive modes within the fly, but changes to traction control management if you press and contain the ESP button good enough to turn from the stability control. You operate the controls by spinning the bezel everywhere you look to change the degree of traction control intervention from a single virtually fully on to 8 almost completely off. The system isn't same as the SSC2 system on Ferrari cars, which uses yaw angle and steering angle sensors to determine the quality of intervention. The AMG technique is actually quite rudimentary, however it works incredibly well. With stability control completely off, the machine limits the quantity of wheel slip which is allowed on the rear wheels by reducing engine power. Although its operation is very simple, it thoroughly transforms the automobile. With ESP on, the traction and stability control systems come together to keep you straight and true. So whenever you mash the loud pedal mid-corner for any fast escape, the device limits power and applies brakes to individual wheels to help prevent you getting out of control. This is ultimately safe, but slows you down, stifling the potential of the automobile. With the multi-stage traction control, however, you are able to choose your quantity of rear slip. This allows one to floor the gas and unleash more with the engine's power, meaning you receive out from the corner which has a customizable quantity of crossed hands and carry more speed. I did some back-to-back comparisons of laps together with this system. Dolphin can adamantly state that the auto feels and drives much better with all the ESP off and traction control in a very limited slip setting. For the track day enthusiasts that like to chase tenths in some places, the C63 now comes that has a track day data logger called AMG Track Pace, which logs around 80 separate vehicle parameters for that driver to download for a later stage to investigate. The standard 7.0-inch media console or optional 10.25-inch console can present current information including force, engine power and boost, with this particular information available to us apart from the HUD. On the street the C63 has presence, but doesn't go too far. In a comfort setting, using the engine burbling away at low RPM, the C63 trundles around towns easily. However, once you reach your preferred set of winding roads, a flick of a switch transforms the C63 to a fire breather. A new drive mode called Slippery backs away from the throttle map along with other key vehicle parameters to tame the beast on wet or ice-laden roads. Comfort mode is perfect for day-to-day use. After Comfort comes Sport, Sport Plus, and Race. Finally, Individual mode allows someone to change various settings to generate your ideal drive mode. After learning the 2019 C63s, it's abundantly clear this AMG will be the sporting all-rounder. What other cars are definitely more than competent at daily drive duties with practicality boxes ticked, but they can also shred being a purebred sports car. I couldn't have asked to get a better car for my baptism of fire into one in the scariest tracks within the planet. The 2019 Mercedes-AMG C63 retains its character, having its segment-leading twin-turbo V8, which has become mated with a fast-shifting transmission and limited-slip differential. And you may now pull more performance out with the chassis, which has a variable traction control system that allows have sideways fun, but stops you less than any dangerous situations. I relied heavily around the control system at Bilsterberg. If I were lucky enough to run a C63 as my own personal car, I am sure it might get used daily. 2019 Mercedes-AMG C63 S Coupe specifications. Early 2019. Price: $77,000 base, estate. Engine: 4.0 liters twin-turbo 32-valve V8 503 HP at 5,5006, 250 revolutions per minute, 376 lb-ft at 1,3004, 500 revolutions per minute. Transmission: 9-speed multi-clutch automatic. Layout: 2-door, 5-passenger, front engine, RWD coupe. EPA mileage: NA LXWXH 187.1 by 73.9 by 55.2 inches, wheelbase 111.8 inches, weight NA 060 miles per hour, 3.7 seconds, top speed NA